There's nothing else on that. I'm going to move on to 3.2. Update on the current engineering projects.
Let's talk about something interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Where's that tax money going? This evening, I'm going to go over our current construction projects, the ones that are actually like active construction projects, and so not anything that's in design or anything of that nature. First project that's been in construction for a couple years now is the Chestnut West Detention Facility. This is located over on the north side of Pheasant Run Golf Course. Basically, this is the construction and expansion of a detention that's up there as part of the master plan. Beverage construction is approximately 80% done. The final components are some concrete flumes, some concrete weirs and things of that nature, and that's supposed to be completed later this month. Willow Detention expansion. This is an expansion of the I refer to it as the old soccer fields. That's over there south of Willow, east of Cleveland Avenue, by the old soccer complex. This expanded, increased the amount of detention that facility will hold, in conjunction with some of the other construction that we've already completed behind Jumbo's and that shopping center there.
And that expansion's to the east, is that what the diagram's showing, I think?
Actually, it's to the west, this blue area here.
Yeah.
This is the existing facility here, and then this is where the new facility is.
We will still maintain the old soccer fields for practice in case anybody's...
Absolutely, yeah. Nothing out there of the existing has changed. We installed some storm pipes underneath, but it doesn't affect anything there. This project is about 99% complete. Waiting on a few riprap items and things of that nature to get completed, and then we'll be wrapping that up. 1500 Norman Road. This is the replacement of I think there's two or three corrugated metal pipes that go underneath Norman Road here, and we'll replace them with a box culvert. Construction got kicked off about a month ago. Then some of the utility relocates took longer than we anticipated, so it's kind of been paused for just a little bit. Haskell Lemon is the one doing that, and construction is supposed to be picked back up probably in 60 days in that neighborhood.
Is that going to extend the date of completion? Because I think we had it right before Christmas.
Right, yep.
Probably New Year's.
It'll probably extend it out probably, I would guess, in the 30 day range probably, depending on something coming up, which I'll talk about here in just a little bit. Woodlands Drainage. This is a drainage project between Woodlands and, oh man, the neighborhood just slipped my mind. This neighborhood, help me, Raleigh. Willow West. Luckenbill Development has a project, and it just kicked off last week, and so it'll take them probably 30 to 40 days to complete that project. Soccer complex street improvements. This is the larger of the projects for the concrete out there. This was the project that included all the parking and all the driveways. The contractor is completed. We have done final walkthroughs, and we have a punch list for them to complete. When they got substantially completed, they went to work on another project and will return. They're supposed to be returning next week to complete their punch list, and so that project will be wrapped up here hopefully within the next month. North 5th Street, East Randolph to East Broadway. We just did the walkthrough this morning for this project, the final walkthrough. So he has one little small punch item to complete, and then we'll be doing our ribbon cutting and things of that nature for that project. So that project's basically wrapped up. East Birch, between the 1600 and 2300 blocks. This project is also about 99% complete. Everything is done as far as the contract goes, and we have a handful of punch list items to wrap up. They're supposed to be getting a few items in over the next couple of weeks to finish that project. 100 to 1,000 block of West Elm Avenue. This is kind of our big local street project for last year. It's about 95% complete. He's down to about the last block of sidewalks and cleanup. And so I had another picture I wanted to put on here. I didn't get it on here. I apologize. But one of the features that was included on this project was adding a drop-off lane in front of the school here. And project's not even done, and I've already gotten compliments and things like that of how much that helps with traffic in that area. So I'm proud of that small little project there. They should be done.
And they made it past school before school started.
That's
too.
right, yeah. Yep, they did. I told them they had to.
This ribbon cutting's also going to be interesting and unique, I think. Scott, we have something special.
We're going to strike up the band. We're going to hopefully have the Emerson band out there to help us celebrate the ribbon cutting and get some student participation, maybe a pep rally. So
Sounds
we've already began some talks with the school system, and they're excited about this project, and they definitely want to be a part of the celebration.
Happy to do it.
Emerson just celebrated 100 years also, so that's good.
Cool. The signal poles for the Garriott and Independence, they're standing and upright and functioning fully. I believe they lack a little bit of components left to get hooked up for the pedestrian crossings and things of that nature. Upcoming after this project, we'll also be doing the sidewalk replacement associated with this intersection. So. Randolph Waterline Project from Van Buren to Washington. They are probably more closer to 99% now this week. They just lack a few tie-ins of some services and some sod and cement, things like that to wrap up. And so they'll be done with that project hopefully in the next few weeks. We'll wait on the roadway to do a ribbon cutting for this project. Contractors on that project, since they're wrapping up on that one, they went ahead and kicked off this next project, which is the 700 to 1600 blocks of East Oklahoma Avenue waterline. Southwest Waterworks, they just began. They've been currently installing all the long services down through along the street ahead of the actual installation of the new water line. Leona Mitchell Boulevard, water main and improvements. This project is on its last leg. It's almost we almost got it whooped. We lack about, this is going to sound big and scary, but it's not that big a deal. We lack about 100 water meters to install, 100 to 150. We're working through that list currently, and once the water meters are installed, the project will be complete.
Yeah, I just want to take the opportunity again. I know probably every commissioner up here remembers some ladies from Southern Heights that came to see us probably not quite 2 years ago, I think around, I'm going to say February, March timeframe, and showed us some water full of sediments and stuff. And so I'm very proud of the accomplishments of the city staff and with your direction to get this done and to go out and get, we got this part of a loan, right, Aaron? So did we have to pay for all of this? Wow. How much did we get for free?
$1 million.
Wow. Good job. So I just want to bring that up again. I'm sure we
that goes-
have an appropriate.
And also goes with the slide before, because that's the other part of the
Yes.
loan that we got from the water board is that project. So this is a threefold project, actually.
Yeah.
How were we able to qualify for a grant on that?
Well, Aaron, why don't you tell us?
Right, so OWRB had, actually ODEQ, had some funding available, and so we put in a request for the water line improvements that we needed to do, and it was forgivable up to 25% of what you put in, up to $1 million. So we did a $4 million loan, and we'll have $3 million of repayment on that loan.
Okay. Was this based on the quality of the water was so bad that there's programs out?
No, it had to do with flows and improving the infrastructure overall, and so any place that needed improvements within the city would have qualified for that.
Water quality, fire flows, things of that nature for the neighborhoods.
And Chief, on the flow tests, what two areas were the worst?
That area is definitely was one of the worst ones in town. If you drive through neighborhoods and see a lot of red hydrants, that's a good indication that their water systems are old and worn out and filled with sediment and need to be replaced. So that is going to be a tremendous help to us in protecting that part of town, and I'm sure they're enjoying more water in the shower and in the kitchen as well.
Continuing on water lines, the 10th Street water line relocation between Broadway and Chestnut kicked off about 2 weeks ago. They've started trenching in and laying the 10-inch pipe along Cleveland. Golly, I'm all messed up now. 10-inch pipe along 10th Street. Jackson Civil is a contractor on that project, and they're getting into it. A couple blocks so far. So this is we refer to this as our sewer point repair program, inflow and infiltration sanitary sewer point repair projects. This project is citywide, and it's multi-year, and it spans multi-year. The current project began in 2020. They've redone 214 total point repairs in that 3.5 year time frame, and with the last couple projects, the next two projects I'm actually going to speak on, they'll be wrapping up the contract for that. As part of the I&I, which it was over on Willow and Van Buren, that service road over there, there was a split. The best way I can describe it is a split manhole. It split down the side. Required. It was very, very deep, about 15 foot deep. Required a big hole, water pumping, getting the groundwater out of there in the whole 9 yards. And so they've got that project completed. It's 90. I have 90% on here. They're actually done with it, and it's opened back up. The other project that was actually put on hold because of the previous project is at 2nd and Ash. This is a segment of pipe that broke just adjacent to that small bridge that's right there. Another one that's very deep. You can see the required trench boxes, and if you've been in the area, I'm sure you've seen or heard the wells that running down there to pump the groundwater out so that they can actually do the repair. If you've driven by there lately now, the holes are filled and they're back and everything's back, and they're going to be completing the concrete over the next few days. I think I have the 90% complete flip-flopped on those. I apologize. Water reclamation facility, the sewer plant. We had a handful of structural issues that were needed addressed out there. Currently, we are waiting on a handful of staircases that need to be replaced. Those are on order. We're just waiting to get them here. Once those are done, this project will be completed. 54th Street lift station upgrade. I need to have, well, I guess I got it right there. This is a phase 1 portion of that project. This would be a multi-year, multi-phase project that's improving the capacity and the ability of the 54th Street lift station. This is a lift station that handles everything. So basically from Market Avenue north. So we're talking about the Tyson plants, Mid-America, some of the larger facilities that we have in town. And so these handle a lot of large flows, a lot of large influxes, and so our improvements there are increasing the capacities and abilities of that lift station. This phase 1 is complete. Phase 2 is currently underway. Phase 2 is mostly electrical panel kind of thing, so it's really not that exciting. You know, a lot of things won't change out there. It'll look the same, but it'll help the quality and the functionality of the lift station. Advanced soccer complex. This is a flat work portion of it, which is the interior portion with inside of the actual facility. We mid construction, we had to switch contractors for the project. We made a switch, and we've got things. We got it wrapped up, 99%. He's basically all the way done. Has a handful of punch list items to take care of to wrap that project up. Fire Station 1 roof, another project that's about 99% complete. We are missing a punch list, final punch list, a final walkthrough of the project. I was unaware, I'm gonna throw it out there so Chief hears it, of some of the leaks that were happening. And so we have got those fixed, and the contractor's got those things lined out. So moving forward, waiting on the architect to do the final walkthrough.
There were leaks after the roof was put on?
I'm guessing some joints weren't sealed properly or something like that, so.
Yeah, I don't know that it was specifically errors made in replacing the roof so much as that building went through a major transformation to go from a medical facility to a fire station. So there's a lot of plumbing vents, a lot of things in the roof structure that they had to work around, the air handling systems on the roof. So there's a lot of flashing and fixtures on the roof that they had to work around. So some of the rains that we got with 30-mile-an-hour winds and things like that, water was finding its way through. Once we kind of figured out where the leaks actually were and notified them, they jumped right on it. They've been really good to us and really trying to fix the problem. So it's not a lack of effort, anything like that. It's just working through the issues and making sure and getting it all buttoned up. So everything's going well, it's just taking some time. And since we didn't have any rains for a little while, sometimes things don't show up for a while, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay.
Cogdale Drive and Adolpha Circle. This is a project that just got kicked off. I've spoken with the contractor to get the work done. It was kind of I don't want to say it's an emergency or anything like that, but it's a project that kind of sprung up on us. We weren't really planning on it. We have some funding available from a leftover project that we can use to wrap this project, take care of this project. Main Avenue. This was passed to me from Public Works. I think they were a little more than they can handle, but it's not as bad as what we thought it was. So after inspection, we found out basically it was just the asphalt was broken, and so the project should be wrapped up hopefully by midweek next week. The contractor is going to pour concrete tomorrow, so that'll get taken care of. Eisenhower Bridge. I mentioned earlier that about Norman Road, it's on pause. This is where that contractor is going to go to, is to fix this project. We spoke on it. You know, obviously, once we were notified, we shut the bridge down. The project's going to basically, we had some testing done on the structure, and kind of went through the ins and outs of what the design would be for the replacement. And so once I shouldn't say replacement, the reconstruction may be a better word. We're going to put a new deck on and new walls for the project. And so the contractor's notice to proceed is September 10th. And we've given him approximately 60 days to complete the project. So,
Did we decide that that's only going to take a deck?
yes, sir.
I know last time we were, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. So we're going to do a little additional work on the walls, just so that it's a little more. It improves the actual structure, improves the actual construction, makes it easier for the contractor to actually do the work in a better way. So there is additional work, not just the deck, that's going to be replaced. But
Right. Okay.
But yeah.
What's the approximate cost, Jason?
I'm sorry.
Approximate cost to do that repair on that bridge?
what was our preliminary estimate was 250 or 300?
I think we are using the unit price established on the Norman Road. So based on the units, we are looking around 300,000.
Around how much?
300,000?
800,000?
300,000.
300.
Which I think is phenomenal, because we were looking at million plus, 2 million if we had to rebuild everything. So it was really good news that most of the walls seem to be structurally sound. So, and I appreciate the efforts to get this done quickly when we shut it down. So, and finding a way to do it with the change order.
One thing on this project is nice is the flow lines are fixed, since the channel on the east side is a concrete channel. So basically the bottom of the bridge is where the bottom of the bridge is going to be. So it's basically replacing what's above that bottom. So
Jason, could you go back one slide, the Cogdale, or 2 slides, I guess?
Mhm.
What is the cause of this one? What happened out there?
I think it looked like we got some water in between, basically underneath the concrete, and from where it's supposed to be in between the concrete and the gravel layer.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint anything. From the times I've been out there, I couldn't find really anything that happened. I'm assuming probably just maybe some expansion joints that probably opened up and they got water underneath it. We inspected all of the storm pipes and things of that nature, and all of the storm pipes are good. So we haven't lost anything as far as structurally goes with the stormwater system. But so I know that's kind of a
Yeah.
it's not really a good answer, but it's
Right.
I can't really
I
tell
think
you.
the email said about 4 months. We think that T should be closed, maybe longer.
Oh, no, I would not expect 4 months.
Okay.
60 days, 2 months. I mean, Raleigh, that's probably being really conservative.
That assessment was before we inspect the storm sewers. Since we inspected storm sewers, we are not going to replace any of the storm sewers. That's the reason the time span is shortened down.
Okay. Good to
So
know.
more good news. It'll be done
Yeah.
faster than expected.
Yeah.
I know the residents in that area will be appreciative that it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, most of it's cosmetic, so I'm happy with that. So we got, there's some inlets and things like that are broken at the surface, but I mean, structurally, everything beyond that is fine. Randolph Culvert, this is a project that we've been working on the last couple of months. We're finalizing the plans, and once the plans are done on this one, we're going to kick this off real quick into construction. I didn't have a picture of what the issue is, but basically the culvert that's underneath Randolph, the bottom of the culvert's rusted out and gone. So
Where's the location? Oh, that's over by the nursing home over there, right?
yeah, this is the Arbors. I can't think of the street over here.
Roseanne.
Roseanne, there you go. But we're going to replace that culvert. A lot of flow goes through there, and so we're working on getting the right situation there. Cleveland Street widening. I feel like I've talked about this one forever. I'm ready for it to kick off, which is going to happen in November. It's going to bid in November through the ODOT system. Right-of-way's complete, utilities are complete, design's complete. Y'all signed the ODOT agreement. And so we spoke with Mr. Vanaken with the ODOT local government and this morning. And it will be released to bid in November. So.
That's an expensive project. I think we put up, is it $3 million or something like that from the city?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, I believe
Wow.
is that the amount right there that we,
Oh,
Yeah.
with the railroad portion too.
yep, for total for all.
Which, I guess we had $3 million in the budget, right? So,
What's the time estimate to get that project done?
We don't know yet since it's not with a contractor. Hasn't been awarded to somebody yet, so.
Okay.
um,
And they're gonna try to keep one lane open, is that what I've heard?
There's there's 2 situations when we won't be able to do that, and that's when the box goes across Cleveland and then
Right.
when they do the railroad work. Other than those two situations, yes, it will be open at least a minimum one lane at all times.
Do we already have another railroad does it when they want to, but we had them on notice already about their piece, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yep, yep. And that's kind of separate, it's with ODOT, but separate from ODOT type of thing, and so, but the funding's all there for them and ready to go, so whenever they get kicked off, they're ready to go. I did notice there's that damaged guardrail that they haven't fixed yet, so I'm hoping that's a sign.
That's been there
I'm
a
hoping
while.
that's a sign that they're ready to move on their work, so.
Been damaged for quite a while.
Has it? Okay. Another one of our large ODOT projects is the Garland Road widening. Right-of-way acquisition, we're down to one property left to acquire. Once, well, I say once, they're done now. Southwest Waterworks has got the water line out of the way, and all other utilities have been moved. And design is at 95% complete, which through some situations, McClellan Consulting is wrapping that up, and they'll be having that to us fairly soon, I would think. I thought it was supposed to be the end of last month, but we haven't received it yet.
Go ahead.
No.
I was just going to ask, this probably is going to be very expensive, right? Do we have any idea? Can you give me a range? Can you give Aaron a range so we can find funds?
I think once we receive the bids on Cleveland, we will know for sure
Okay.
how much it's going to be, because this is almost similar to that same project. I think the cost of construction is going high and high. I don't want to throw a number.
Okay. Gotcha.
We've got the movie theater coming too, so now we're gonna have to focus on south of Garland, or south of O&K on Garland too, so.
Right. I think like after completion of the intersection Randolph and Garland, then we'll go south.
Yeah.
It improves the whole traffic flow.
Is this one all on us, or is ODOT taking any of this?
I think it's mostly going to be on us, isn't it, Raleigh?
This project is designed, and we can still move forward with ODOT, or we can take over. So depend upon the funding availability, so we can do either options.
We've got an option of doing either?
Yeah.
Well, we let them pay for a part of it. That's not part of the option?
Well, you're talking about ODOT can engineer it for us?
No.
Or bid it for us, or we could just, or,
I think this is typical to Cleveland project.
Okay.
So we already paid for the design, utility relocation, and also the property acquisition. So it's all been done. So the next step is going to be the ODOT. So it's like a ODOT pays $1 million towards the construction cost.
Okay. Okay, I'm all right.
Oh,
So
Comes undone underneath there. Okay,
thank you, Marlon.
thanks.
And then lastly, which is not really like, not really a city project, but within city limits, so I guess it is the ODOT Willow Road project, Willow Road and 30th Street projects. Phase 1, they're nearly complete, which was between 4th and 10th, and was just a couple lane closures in the 4-lane section. Phase 2, which is between 10th and 16th, the work's going to require them to shut it down in 1 lane, and on September 18th, it'll be a one-way eastbound for traffic only. And then Phase 3 is 16th to 30th, which is that section out there. There's really not a whole lot out there, which leads to them, basically, it's going to be closed in that section. So, and then once they go on beyond, turn south and go down 30th, that'll just a mill and overlay portion of it, and so it'll be open throughout construction. Any questions? Anything I missed? Okay. One thing I did miss, something I wrote down, I missed it for myself. I wanted to throw out there. Currently, we have 28 active construction projects. Half are in the final phases. Projects that we have ready to go is the 54th Street reconstruction, which is the Tyson, not TP, no, Renew Energy project out there. It's going to kick off beginning in November. 10th Street roadway construction is going to begin in October. Meadows Channel construction is going to begin in October. And then I mentioned earlier in passing the sidewalks at the intersection of Garriott and Independence. Once the signal crews are out of the way, they're going to start their sidewalk repairs at that intersection. So.
Are we also in design, maybe you said it already, are we in design on 66 from north of Willow to Breckenridge?
Yep, I'm in the final phases of utility clearance on that project, and then it'll be going to bid. Got a couple of gas lines to double check that they're not going to be in our way and not going to slow us up. So, but it's a set and on go. Okay.
Do we still have our eyes on our walking trail? It's something that Commissioner Stallings had brought up a few months back. How are we looking at? Are we designing anything, or is that something in our future?
We have a handful, maybe not a handful, 2 projects that are with some grant. We're looking at getting some grant funding for the projects. Apologize, I'm totally blank on the project.
Yeah, pre-review.
Yes, I'm sorry, there you go. Yeah, Prairie View, we're looking at, do we have a grant with that one? So we have a grant with that project. And so that's Prairie View. So basically along Willow from the school over to Oakwood. And then we have another project that I think it's still up in the air on whether we're getting funding, but a portion of trail that's going to be in Government Springs South. It's still with the funding source. I can't think of is that one ODOT? I apologize. It slipped my mind, but I believe that one's with ODOT with the TAP program.
Isn't there also a trail with the Cleveland extension up to Willow?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
and
yeah.
that
So
hopefully will go across the railroad tracks, right?
Yes.
Connect with,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
there are some projects, and potentially we can tie in some of those together. I know we also have the connection to Vance, don't we, designed? We
Yeah,
just need to
it
find
is
the funding.
designed, yeah.
yeah, that one's designed, and we did not get funding for that one. So.
Is any of that trail going to go through downtown, like off of Grand Street, going north? Is that part of any of the trail? I know they put the bike markings and everything up, but I remember when Commissioner Benny Zell was on the commission, he had spoke a lot about that. Is that something that we're still planning?
So it's been kind of our intention of this upcoming year. We actually have a Grand Avenue reconstruction project from Garriott to Maine. And so as part of that project, we redo the sidewalks in that portion and get them to trail quality things, standard.
Not exactly, I think, what you're asking. We did do an interim step using the crosswalk that's out in front of the building here, and we connected a sidewalk past the fire station to downtown. And with what Jason's telling you, it probably wouldn't take much with that nice sidewalk on State Street that goes all the way to Grand to connect that piece on those nice new signals and pedestrian walks, get people across the street. So I think that kind of...
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
That connection is all there, and I think it's just with some minor improvements, especially with the new signals and things like that, that really increases the safety at that intersection.
Because I remember, ODOT's coming in and the $34.7 million 7-year deal that they're going to do. I know they're going to redo all of that, and I get that, but I was just wanting to make sure that we don't forget about going through downtown, through that walkway that you had mentioned coming right out here.
Absolutely, and I think we can, with what's going on, it probably, I'm going to jump out there and say it probably doesn't cost that much, $1 million here, $1 million there. Oh, that's a joke, bad joke. But this one block stretch to get us connected probably isn't going to be that much. Just to manage your expectations though on ODOT and the project, you've had some meetings, you might tell people what you're hearing from ODOT when they go from Garland to wherever they're going to, Leona Mitchell or where.
Yeah, the majority of that, that 35 million or whatever it is, 37 million, is going to be focused on the road. So they're going to do the project in phases of where the construction is going to kind of, the way to think of it is a center line out. They'll do the improvements to the road, and however much more money they got left, they'll do improvements to the side, or kind of to the curbs and gutter, and kind of just step their way out. So if at the current pace with the construction costs and things of that nature, it's going to be hard for them to guarantee that any kind of sidewalks or anything improvements would be, happening along with that project.
Because I know that, they're going to do 30th because right now existing, all of that is in concrete. Some of that is asphalt. Are they going to do all of it in concrete? Do you all know, or is it going to be?
So basically the section that's from 30th west, so 4th to 30th, that's all concrete. And so that is actually a panel repair where they're actually going in there where there's bad panels and they're replacing those panels. And then once you get on the 30th Street and go south from Willow to
412
or
yeah.
Market, I guess.
Randolph
Yeah.
Market, yeah.
Once you get down there, that is all asphalt, and that is going to be a mill and overlay project. So they're going to come in and mill the majority, mill the top portion of the asphalt off and lay down new asphalt.
Okay.
One thing I was very excited to hear from them when I spoke with them is the railroad has given them clearance to basically fix right up to the panels, to the railroad panels. And so some of those really rough areas that are in that area should be taken care of with this project. So.
Yeah, because I would like to see.
Like every single crossing on
Yes.
30th.
I'm speaking real fast because I know 6:15, but I would like to make sure with the university bringing in the soccer and everything, and us making discussions about improving possibly the baseball facilities and all that stuff, that we have walking trails and things like that around that area for those individuals, the students that are coming in from out of town into Enid, for quality of life and growth for the city. I mean, I think that's very important, vision-wise, that we accommodate those students with being able to ride their bikes, skateboards, whatever they do, so let's just keep that in mind. It's very important.
All right. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.